Good morning, everyone. Glad to see everyone here for our Bible class hour. This morning we have a guest speaker with us. His name is Ronnie Gudam. He does great work in India with him and his family, and Ronnie and I went to the Memphis School of Preaching together. We worked a lot with our class, and we dealt with a lot of problems together because I was the president of the class and he was my vice president. So it's good to see him here. I was actually not supposed to be here this week. And then when he walked in, he said, "I didn't think you were supposed to be here." So it was good to see him, and we're so thankful for what Ronnie does. He does amazing work in India, and the church there is growing despite the issues and problems that they may face. Ronnie and his family has always been an encouragement to me when I was in school, and we're glad that they're here with us this morning. He'll have a presentation for us during our Bible class hour. So Ronnie, come speak to us.
All right, it's a pleasure to be here once again, and Brother Pugh, once again, very nice to see you. It's been almost 7-8 years since we graduated. Went to school with him, like he said, in 2015 to 2017, but it's been those glorious 2 years studying the Bible with them and encouraging each other, like he said, and basically bearing each other's burdens and doing things for the Lord. He and I did door knocked in many places. We enjoyed walking around and talking to people and sharing the gospel and inviting to gospel meetings or Bible studies together. But I will talk about our work in India during this class hour. And just to let you know, just a brief history of it, you might see my father's name, Joshua Gudam, in there. That is my dad. There's a history with him that goes along the Churches of Christ in India. In fact, this land, Missouri, has been a great part in his work for many years. Though his congregations or his supporters were more from Kansas City, Independence area, and Kansas area. And this is when he said St. Peter's, I'm like, okay, where is it located? It is new to me. I could figure out where St. Louis was, but I did not know where St. Peter's and St. Charles were around. I did not know there were other saints here, frankly speaking. But it was good. It's good. It's good to be here and to be familiar with you all. My father, Joshua Gudam, he is in other words, the first New Testament Christian to be baptized in Christ and back in 1960s. If you know Brother J.C. Bailey from Canada, a pioneer missionary, he came down to India, preached the gospel, and he was his first convert was actually my dad, back in 1964. This is about 60 years since he has been preaching, and he continues to preach and teach the gospel. He's 82 now. And in these 60 years, many works he has started, and I will show you some pictures of our family and excuse me. Okay, there you go. That's a family. My father, my mother. My father is Joshua Gudam, my mother Kabita, and my older brother Ricky. He's in the back in the blue, and his wife Sudeepa. And they have a son Justin. He's right next to him, and you could see myself and my family. I'm here. I'm Ronnie Gudam. My wife's in the back. She's over there. And I have two children, Fiona and Eva. Fiona is 7 and Eva is 3. They're a little older than this picture, but you'll see them running around in a little while once the classes. So I think they're in their respective classes. And my younger brother Robin and his wife Rachel, and they have 2 sons, Ryan and Jordan. That is our family. Of course, there's Rosie in there. Rosie is my oldest brother's daughter. And this is where we are from. Somebody already asked me, where are you in India? This is a map of India. In India, we all have different states, just like America. But unlike America, if you cross the state border, like I just did last night from Tennessee to here, you still say y'all here, right? You do? Okay. But that's not how it goes in India. If you cross the state border in India, you will be speaking a different tongue. It's not like a different dialect. Your food habits are different. Your clothing is different. And in fact, we welcome in different way in different states. If you open your Bibles to Matthew 28, 18 to 20, of course, Jordan actually has talked about it, might have talked about it, is when he said, go into all nations. The root word for nations in the Bible in Matthew 28, 18 is actually ethnos. Ethnos means ethnic groups. So it does not deal with state borders or country borders. It's just ethnic groups wherever they are. You have to go and preach the gospel, and that's where we are from. So in our ministry, if you our place Kakinada, you can see in the next map right there. There you go. See that, the red dot? It's a small town of 500,000 people, and in a country of 1.3 billion people. I joke around that we have 1.3 billion people and 3 million guards in India. So even if you cross the state border, not necessarily a state border, you can cross the border of your town. There will be a different guard. They'll be worshiping a different god and different deity in everywhere, and henceforth. They worship the cows. I joke around saying the word holy cow came from India. It is possible, but I just don't know. But at the same time, they worship, there are people that worship the pigs. There are people that worship the snakes, the sun, the moon, the stars, the fire, the trees, human body parts, you name it, they worship them. So it's just leave for your imagination that what they worship. But we worship the one true God, and that's whom we are proclaiming. The basis of our work is actually scriptures. And again, you're already at Matthew 28, 18 and 20. Yeah, and also look at Mark 16, 15 and 16. It says, go and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. He that believeth not shall be condemned. As a family and as members of the church, there are many things that we do. And I'm not here to talk about all of those things, but I'll talk about some of those things. It's just evangelism ministries, we have 18 of them. And slowly but surely we're going to increase some of those evangelistic efforts to 20 or 22, something like that. But at the same time, benevolence. It is one thing to preach the gospel. It is one thing to say that God is love, God is love, God is love, and you can thump the Bible like anything and talk about saying God is love. But it's another thing to show what is God's love, right? And that's why the Psalm is 41:1. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will lift him up in the time of trouble. Now, not too long ago, I was doing a research on how many times did the Lord mention that commandment for us to take care of the poor in the entire 66 books of the Bible. I was surprised to find out that Lord mentioned the poor 2,000 times. It's amazing, right? Our God is a God of the poor. And he made sure that he tells that 2,000 times in the 66 books of the Bible. And we should think that that should be something he really wants us to do. Right? He commanded us that over and over again. So, that is why we made sure that we are not just our preaching, but also our behavior, our actions talk about the pure religion that is in James 1:27. Pure religion and undefiled before the God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and their widows in their affliction and to remain unspotted from this world. Now, we are commanded to do these things. So, we are doing these things. Subsequently, what about edification? What are we supposed to do? Right, we are Christians, we are brothers. Somebody asked me, are you two brothers? Yes, we are brothers. We are brothers in Christ. If we are brothers in Christ, we are in the Lord's army. I don't know about any army that is fighting with each other. If an army patrol or army sergeant is fighting with his soldiers, the enemy wins. We are supposed to build each other up, comfort one another, 1 Thessalonians 5:11. We do these things for the glory of God, not for our sake, but for the Lord's sake, because we are still unprofitable servants. In this presentation today, I will talk about some of our works like radio and TV evangelism that started many years ago, the basic Bible course that we do and we print and we send out via mail, and the personal evangelism we do, and also School of Evangelism. Some of these efforts of our evangelism efforts. And benevolence, it's not just a COVID relief anymore, but it continues to do. We continue to give relief to the poor and needy, the children home, the leper colony welfare, that we take care of the lepers. We have about 10 leper colonies around our Kakinada area. So we take care of 2 of them. And subsequently, we give to village preachers the spiritual help. We build church buildings and places. Jordan talked about persecution, just briefly, right? How do we work around in those places in persecution, especially where their Christians are being tortured or persecuted? Subsequently, we build water wells in tribal villages where it's very hard to get water. And I don't know if I should have asked this question. Has anybody ever visited India before I come here? Anyone? You did? What part, sir? Mumbai. Okay. My dad worked in Mumbai for 10 years in his early days, and he started 4 congregations in Bombay back in those days. And then, of course, we have mission needs, and I'll also talk about contact information where you can reach it to us. Of course, Jordan is here, and I also have requests to send Jordan to India. Since you have been there, you know the way. And so we'll have him, and we'll preach the gospel over there too. In the radio and TV evangelism, just really quickly, this was started back in the 1960s. Brother J.C. Choate from Winona, Mississippi, if you know his name. He worked with my dad and his wife Betty. I just met her last week. She's a sweet lady, and always an encourager, and continue to support the works that we do. And this has back in those days, this was before Facebook or Twitter or even your iPads or all these technology advancements. Back in those days, people would listen to the radio and hear about the weather. Not just that, maybe listen to songs, listen to many things. So it was a good means to spread the gospel. His program was only for 15 minutes a day, but it had a lot of impact back in those days because they were hearing for the first time the singing of the church without the use of instruments. It was something on the radio, intriguing on the radio, what you can sing to the Lord and pray sings to Him without the instruments and make it sound this beautiful. And it was intriguing, even though it was for a minute or two. It was preparing for them for the gospel that was spread. And he would conclude the program telling them to write to us if he has any questions. And people would write. People who sometimes would name him a false prophet and write also all those things. And he would respond to them back with love and kindness and give them some more material for them to study. And that way, many congregations were established because people were listening to the truth. And now, in 2003, the radio has become outdated. People stopped listening to radio. And in fact, the radio, if you remember those days where they had reels, not the MP3 player, the reels that would go from one big wheel to another and play, those were the reels at the time. Now in 2003, when the digital media has come forth, everything moved on to TV programs. And then the TV program, the only thing that changed was the media. Programs still remained the same. From 15 minutes, we ended up going to half an hour TV programs. We have 18 programs, so over 6 times a week. In fact, there are 18 programs, 6 channels that are aired the program and some of them are actually in the U.S. as well. And there's some pictures I want to show. This is my father recording on the radio. You can see that over there. Okay. The back in the back, that is actually his bed, and this is me. Soon after graduation, taking over some of that work. And I'm also on YouTube. There's some sermons that I preached are also on YouTube. And if you know, what we did was we took all those reels and turned them into MP3 format. And what happened with that? If you know the radio program or radio channel ministry, it's a truth.fm, and I think it's airing out somewhere from Tennessee. They have a channel for Telugu programs, the language that we speak. So we put those radio programs or radio lessons that he preached on that network, and then we saw how many people are listening. And if you can see this, okay, oh, there you go. If you can see the dots, I should have used a better map. We found out there are more listeners in the United States rather than in India. And this is in Telugu. This is not in English. It's in Telugu. And we continue to get responses from them because we still have the same address. And they still write to us that they listen to it over the radio. And obviously, because of my training and the connections we have established while in the School of Preaching, I've been involved in the Bible Answer program via GBN as well for about 6 years. In fact, this morning, if you turn on to GBN, you would have seen me at 8:30 in the morning. I don't know, you all may be trying to come here, but when you go back, perhaps you can see the rerun of a Bible Answer program. This is Brother Mike McDaniel. I'm sure Brother Pugh would recognize him, and he was one of my teachers, and he's been very kind to me and inviting me on the program over and over again. And I've been on it for almost, like I said, 6 years, and it's been a pleasure evangelizing America all over again for me. And we continue to do, like I said, the basic Bible course. This was authored by Brother Rice and translated into like 16 different languages. And my father and my mother translated into 2 different languages. My wife is right there. She's looking in my backpack, see if I have a copy of the course. If she finds it, she will give it to you, a copy. And if it is for you, if you can read it. Okay, if you can't read it, pass it on to the others. Maybe they'll try. Okay, and subsequently, in the past 60 years that we have been in circulation, we have reached out to almost 7 million people. We get about 300 responses each day. 300 responses. People write an email to us, text messages, phone calls. Any time of the day, we can expect any man or a woman come into our offices and ask for this course materials. They could be asking in hundreds. They could be asking in any number. We don't know. And one of the things that we do is we have realized this course is whenever it's been in circulation for these many years. In the 2025, we have given away about 50,000. They have taken 46 new congregations have been established just by this ministry. Because this course is designed, the 26-lesson course is designed in such a way, if a person is actually from a different religion, suppose he's worshiping one of those 3 million gods and counting, he now knows who is the God of the Bible. Okay? Now, if that person is out, before I answer the second one, let me ask you a question. How many denominations do you think are there in the world? A lot, yes. How about, give me a number. Throw me a number. 3,000? Okay. Give me another one. 5,000? You can do much better than that. 20. Nope. Google says this morning there are 48,000. 48,000. How many you think are too many? Just one is too many because the Lord's church is just enough, right? So if you think if that person is actually from one of those 48,000 registered denominations that are out there, and they have taken this course, they now know how does one become a Christian, and how is the New Testament church organized. Subsequently, if that person is actually from the member of the church, he has material to take it to others. That is why this course has been so successful. It is 26 or 27 lessons in English, 26 in Telugu and Oriya. It's a profound message. If anybody is disciplined enough to study the gospel and use this course, they'll become a Christian. or they have material to take it to others. And some just want to show you some pictures of how these we are done. These are put in. I'm sure you're looking at those course material. Good luck reading that, and don't use technology. Excuse me. Okay, and so this you can see the packets of books that are or packets of course materials that are put in there. In this next picture, you can see a rack. All those white ones are the course materials. All the yellow are also actually the responses that we get in postcards and things like that. And the Bibles that we purchase each month. Everyone that finishes a Bible correspondence course, she will pass on a copy of the Bible too, in my native tongues. Again, if you can read it, you're welcome to keep it. But otherwise, you can try to pass it on to others. And each person that finishes the Bible correspondence course, they get a free Bible in the mail. And each Bible is costing us about $4 a piece. Okay? And we give away about 2,000 Bibles a month. This picture is actually of my dad standing next to the Bible supply that he just received for the purchases we did. And each day of the week, we get a lot of children actually finishing the courses. Back in India, you can still teach about God to children, even in schools. And we get college-going kids. We get preachers and their wives, preachers, and sometimes widows. They come in because they have studied the course with their family or somebody in their street or things like that. They'll just come. And like I said, any time of the day they can come in and needing the course materials or Bibles because they have completed the course. And our number one adversary in India is actually the post office, because they don't want this massive amount of mail of gospel literature going out. So they try to stop us in many ways they can. So if a preacher has encouraged his members to study these course materials and if they have not received the Bible, they come to us, and then they handpick those Bibles. And like in this picture that we are showing you, this one man, he had like his entire congregation's Bible supply was stopped. So he went down to each of their homes, or if they're meeting in the church building, he would give it to them, and like that. It's a daily process for us that we see that the mail was not delivered, especially when if it's the Bible. We have already corresponded to them, sending them the gospel materials. We have corresponded with them, asking for sending them the certificate of completion. Guess what? Which one returns? It's the Bible. It's the Bible that returns back, and the postman says, addressee not known. All the other letters go there, but not the Bible. So they come and pick them up from our offices, or we send to the local preacher. And just pictures of our daily activities, and this is one day's course mail that goes out each day. And that's how we continue to grow, and Bibles that are mailed out each day. About 40 to 50 Bibles are sent out each day. And obviously, this is my oldest brother, Ricky. His first name is John. So, there's a famous John in the Bible, John the Baptizer. So he takes the responsibility to baptize people. It can be in our congregation. It can be in the church building area where we have the baptistry. It can be in one of those village creeks, and he goes there of all ages, not just men and women. And this is actually a picture of our preachers. These two are in the middle were during the COVID, but this man right here, he said when during the COVID time, or a little after that COVID time, when he gave the course materials to people, they studied it and they would line up to be baptized. You can see them, like 4 or 5 people in the village. They just lined up. We studied the gospel. We know the truth. We want to be baptized. So evangelism, one of the things that we see in Matthew 28, 18 to 20, teach. What's the next one? Baptize. And we continue to teach. And when they were taught, the next work in our evangelism work is the literature work. Because obviously with a massive amount of circulation, massive amount of response we get, we cannot continue to be in touch with them everywhere, all the time. So we publish those materials. Again, my wife is very kind enough to find those things in my bag. And who has my Bibles? You still have them? Trying? Okay, good. So there's some more material coming your way. You can try to read it. And I'll tell you something, because these books are actually authored by American authors, most of them, like Brother Garland Elkins, who is one of our teachers. Some people of the past, like Brother Leroy Brownlow, J.C. Choate, and these brethren have written great books. Why I'm a member of the Lord's Church, Come and See, and Gospel Sermonettes. And these books need to be, in our native language too. And that's why my dad and my mom, they translated them, many books, and they're pretty much being sent out every day. But at the same time, you have magazines like Spiritual Sword, Gospel Journal, Gospel Advocate. But we don't have such in our native tongues in India. So we have monthly magazine which Dad puts out there. About 15,000 homes receive it each month. And my mother as well. And some pictures of them sending out the books in the mail that goes out, literature books and things like that, really quickly. And obviously, it's a family tradition. If Dad does that, sons have to follow suit. So I started doing the same thing. So I found the book called God and Man. Somebody asked me to translate it and publish it. We translated that into 3 different languages in India. Like I said, remember, I said before, if you cross the state border, you speak a different language. So, and that is one of the language hindrance, the barriers we have. But we overcome that by translating those materials and publishing in their native tongues and that are under circulation. And whenever I go to villages, I give it to the members over there that receive those books. Again, this is in addition to the correspondence course, monthly magazines that we put out there, and many other books that we do. And obviously, we also know something about one-on-one teaching. It's not just mass media teaching, it's one-on-one. We are gospel preachers. I think Brother Grider, if I'm not wrong, one time said that, if you're a preacher, be ready. Always be ready to answer. Anybody can come into and ask you questions. Anytime, any time of the day. In our offices, when we visit people, when we are just doing something else. In this picture right here at the bottom, this was actually during the COVID time. You can see people are wearing masks, and these two have come into my offices, and one of them actually had questions like, why is God not hearing his prayers? And I asked him, could you please elaborate? And he said that he was he was a preacher in a Pentecostal church, and every time he preached, people's sickness would go away. But now that COVID has come, COVID is not going away. So he came into my offices and looking for answers. Why is God not listening? I'm like, okay, let's open the Bible and study. What happened during the, miracles ceased. We studied for 3 hours that day. And he finally agreed that he never had any, miraculous powers or anything. So, and some studies do to lead to baptism. And you can see in that picture, this one young man, and he was baptized right away with our this thing. And also School of Evangelism. I know my time is running out really quickly, and I'm still in the evangelism part. In the School of Evangelism started in March 2020, and you all know what happened in March 2020, right? This was 3 weeks before the lockdown. We started this. We didn't know lockdown was coming. So we started a 6-week course, and now we have both 1 year and 2 year option. In the 1 year, we study either whatever they want to study. We can have a 1 year of Old Testament or 1 year of New Testament. They can study both if they want to. And we also have 6 weeks course. All right? We study the Godhead, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and also we study the perennial denominational doctrines. We know about the Bible, gospel plan of salvation, New Testament church. We went to school of preaching. So guess what? Memory verses. All right? We in school of preaching, we ended up studying the entire book of James, or memorizing the entire book of James. And don't ask me now, but that was that was that time. Excuse me. And the preaching, we get to preach as well. And every student gets a free books, and both they're conducted both online, and as well as offline. We put out advertisements like this, 6 weeks, and also courses like this. You can both the Old Testament as well as the New Testament. And they go out. We use social media like WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, and we just started the Twitter. We have not been on it too much, but and use those aspects to reach to the people. We get both men and women in our class, and we have working people. We realize that people are working, Amazon is a good company where people are driving all day, or Uber or things like that, right? But they're working. But when they're working, they can hear the radio, right? They listen to music and things like that. If they can listen to music, they can listen to Bible study. Right? I had one man. I finished my class. I closed my computer, and then there was a bell on my door. So I went and opened it, and there was this man right there. He looked at me shocked. I said, "Sir, it's really you?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." Why? Like, I was just listening to your class. This man was an Amazon delivery guy. He was going around and listening to my class. I did not know that he was listening. And he was at my doorstep as soon as my class was completed. So it was just a thrilling to see how the gospel, is being spread and is being received by people. Some pictures about our Zoom classes. About 15 to 20 log in every day, but we realize that if you have a Zoom meeting going on, you can live stream it on YouTube parallelly. So that is why we're able to reach many people. Not everyone reaches onto the Zoom, but they can see it online on YouTube. And we also have in Oriya, this is another language. We started this. The Telugu classes go Monday to Friday. On Saturday, it's the Oriya classes that go once a week. And we have a 7-8 in there. Again, all the students get books. Like I said, both men and women come and attend the classes. And early this year, in January, we had a lectureship conducted by the school because we realized it's been 5 years and we need to do more. And we need to see how the preachers are that have learned the gospel, how are they preaching, and for them. And so we did this and studied the book of Nehemiah. We were expecting about 300 people per day. We had a problem of having 1,000 people per day. So, it's okay. It's a good problem to have. But each of them respond. We have a few students also that have been graduating as well on the day. And this was Brother Kumar, my first convert. This was, like I said, if you remember me saying, we started this 3 weeks before the lockdown. And he could not go anywhere. So we studied with him. He was originally from some denominational background. We studied with him and opened the Bible. And we studied the book of Romans as well as Hebrews. And he learned everything that we taught him. And he obeyed the gospel. And on his way, and he received his certificate and was on his way. He's now a preacher for about 40-member congregation. Through this ministry, we have started about 40 congregations as well. Our students graduating, and there's a little different from American school graduates and Indian school graduates. American school graduates of the School of Preaching, once they graduate, they find a congregation that will hire them. Indian students are a little different. They go start a congregation, and that's how Indian ministry is actually developing in many ways. So, and then this is Brother Kruparo, just a little background of him. His father was a Jehovah's Witnesses. his mother a Catholic, and he married a Seventh-day Adventist. So he was all over the place. So when he came to us, he because of his father's influence, he was a Seventh-day gentleman, not Seventh-day. He was a Jehovah's Witnesses gentleman, and then he came to our classes wanting to dispute what we are teaching, and then he was honest with himself for 6 weeks, and then he repented of his error, and we baptized him as well. And he went on his way on a graduation day. And by benevolence were really quickly, I'm running out of time. We realized during the COVID that about 172 million people in India live under $2 a day. So daily wage workers, there are a lot of them. So we gathered our supplies together, and we put forth the packages like this. You can see those pictures. And they put them on trucks, and we send them on their way. And many of them were received in our leper colony that we ministered to. We ministered to 2 leper colonies, and we have about 200 people living on those leper colonies. So they need food. If there is lockdown and they're not receiving anything, they're going to die. And that too, because there's a perspective in India, if you have leprosy, they think that you're not going to get any other diseases. But that's not true, right? They can get blood pressure, blood sugar, diabetes, things like that. They can get all those things. So we have constructed in this during our ministry, we constructed a clinic for them as well. And some widows have come to the congregation to receive some help, and we happily gave it to them. Excuse me. When it was time for us to go, when we could actually travel, my brother and I, we went to the leper colony, gave those food packages ourselves, medicines and things like that as well. We cared for the handicapped as well. Many people that cannot walk, crippled, in other words, that cannot help themselves. We have done that too, and we continue to do. Every month we give a lot of food packages as well. And COVID second wave, this hit us really hard. If you know the Delta variant, you might have heard of it, right? It was brutal. Every day we were receiving like 70 people dying because of that. So we raised funds, and in fact, my younger brother, he was in the hospital for 14 days with the COVID, the Delta variant. But he managed to survive, and we bought these oxygen concentrators and gave it to people, and congregations, preachers actually gave it to them as well, and some of them were hand-delivered, and people would actually survive because of the oxygen concentrators we were giving them. And this picture is in the hospital in leper colony. I can see this is our preacher in the leper colony, and a leper just receiving that first aid treatment. And really quickly, I just want to show you, we continue to do the food ministry. Along with the food, we give them some funds, we give them medicine, clothing as well, to widows in the congregation as well. Children home, we have about 60, I would say. This was in 2019 before the shutdown. Before the shutdown, the government actually shut down because of the COVID thing. We almost had 100 at the time. Now we have back to 60 like that. Leper colony, I showed you talked about the leper colony thing. Some pictures in the leper colony. We have a congregation there in the leper colony. Oh, sorry. Too far. We have a congregation there in the leper colony. I just want to talk really briefly because their entire month's collection is less than $3, just to let you know how poor they are. Okay? So we help them as much as we can. And that's why that's where, if you remember me talking about, the Lord asked us to do this 2,000 times, to take care of the poor in the Bible. That's amazing, right? So we had to do it. And we responded to another call in the leper colony, which was about 10 miles from where we live. That's the second leper colony that we're helping. And we found out we have 10 around us. And obviously we can't help everyone, but we can help whoever we can. And edification, really quickly, This is Brother Cates, if you Brother Pugh could remember him. And he came to us, and we continued to do the preachers' workshops, but Brother Cates was there one time, and he preached for us to help these village preachers that are being persecuted, hunted, in other words, for preaching the gospel. And this is Brother Krupara. I told you about him, the Jehovah's Witnesses convert. When he converted the congregation that he was ministering to for the Lord's church, obviously there was persecution everywhere, even from Jehovah's Witnesses people. But my brother went, and I also get to go next time, another time, and get to go and pray for him and pray with him to bless the congregation. And this is picture is in a village where a foundation stone is laid for a concrete church building. And right away they started constructing it. And this was picture of him opening a building one time that he has been working for 17 years. You can see he laid the foundation in 2007, but he was only able to open it in 2024. 17 years. And why did it take 17 years? Persecution. They would not let him build a church building. And this is the same man that laid a foundation for another place. He says, I know how to deal with these people now, and I'm not waiting. And he continues to grow, and this is another building. This is where persecution is on the peak, actually. So, and they asked us, we still need to place for worship. So what we'll do is we'll do a mud walls thing. If they destroy the building, we can build it back up. This is a little different than cement and concrete bricks and things like that, because this one is only costing $300. The other one will cost $10,000. So they're like, if they destroy this church building, their faith is so strong. One of these days they'll come and destroy it. It's just fine. We'll build it back up. This is actually in a tribal place, and the preacher, everybody here would know his name. The man who's standing right there, and you might not have seen him, but you have heard his name. His name is Alexander Campbell. He's a good man. And this is where we built the water wells. If you know the Bible, Christ preached to a Samaritan woman at the water well. And this is in the same village. And I challenge any man here to lift a 5-gallon water pot like that onto his head and walk uphill. The tribal women do that every day for the water for the family. That's a 5-gallon water pot. And she's about 70-year-old. That's why I'm challenging any man to do it. I can't do it. But we looked at their hardship, and they told us about the hardship for getting water. So, and also the perspective they have against Christians. They don't want Christians. So the church there asked me if we can do a water well and provide water not for the Christians, but also for the community. Let them know we are good people. Maybe they will change. And it is working as well. And really quickly, bicycles to preachers, we call them gospel chariots. They take places to preach the gospel. And threats in India, please keep us in your mind, in your prayers as well. There's a group called RSS. It is similar to ISIS, but little smarter. They don't blow up people, they just kill them softly, but threaten them and do things like that. And we have the radical part of the government, which is from here. And this was back in 2018, where they sent the threatening letter saying we'll erase Christianity by 2021. They're 4 years too late, right? And so that's what we are facing. And there are people that are burning Bibles and posting them on YouTube and things like that. Please keep us in your prayers. It's getting harder and harder each day. There are many states that have passed laws that basically outlawed. If you are born in a Hindu family, you cannot become a Christian. That's the kind of law they have passed. And then the last state that was passed in 2017 not one person from the opposition actually stood up and spoke for Christians. And please keep us in your prayers. And our plans is to have 2,500 Bibles each month. Really quickly, I know I'm out of time before the trapdoor opens. GBN has commentaries that we want to translate them. If you know Brother Bob Winton, he wrote many commentaries that we are hoping to have them. And also School of Evangelism and other things. And some support that we request is for Bibles, the translation of commentaries, and the school. Please keep them in your mind. You can support us in many ways. I do have an overseeing congregation in Arkansas, 70 West. It's in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And also you can contact us directly. You can become a one-time supporter. I'm here if you want to show your generosity. You're welcome to show it to me directly. And you can, again, like I said, you can send your preacher, or you can come with him as well. Come and preach with us. Come and work with us in India. And I'm here maybe until lunchtime or so. If you have any questions, my wife and children are in the back, and you're welcome to ask us any questions you have. We'll give you some material to take it with you. Please keep us in your prayers. And thanks again for your time and consideration, especially to the elders. Thanks for having me here, Pew, for working together. We've been thinking of it for almost a year or so. And thanks for all your patience, and thanks for all your efforts. Thank you.